Recital 1. Student name Wu Hao. Number 1. Title: Hieronymus for Symphony, composed by Wu Hao. Number 2. Description of the composition. The story of Hua Mulan, who took her father's place in the army, is an ancient Chinese tale that has been passed down of thousands of years. In 429 AD, the northern Normannic people Soren crossed the Great Wall of China. They plundered the borders of China, and for a while, the border area was devastated and the people had no way to live. Emperor Hao-Recital of the Northern Wei dynasty recruited men to defend the country and defeated Soren to the north of the Great Wall. Hua Mulan's father had to go to the battlefield himself because he had no son, and due to his old age, this will lead the near death. In order to prevent her father from going to the battlefield, Mulan disguised hide the fact from her family and disguised herself as a man to fight for her father in the army. A woman from a commoner family, but she had experienced 10 years of sword on the battlefield and assisted the emperor in breaking through the iron ornaments of Soren by virtue of her strong perseverance and her belief in defending her country. After the victory of the war, Mulan disliked the imperial reward and returned to her hometown alone. Although Mulan is only a folk tale, since the Shang dynasty, there has been countless female warriors in China, such as Fu Hao, Princess Pingyang, Liang Hongyu, Qin Yuliang. They are all real heroines in history, and the story of Mulan epitomizes one of them, which is still a thousand story today. Although males are stronger apparently, women also have strong sense of duty, could be arms and heroines who kill the enemy. While talking of the armor, could be good doctor, wife and mother of their children. Furthermore, what is engraved in the DNA of China woman is the unchanging sense of family and country for thousands of years. I was deeply inspired by the story of Hua Mulan, and this work paid tribute to the heroines. Number 4. Score. Instrumentation. Instrumentation. There has woodwind, one flute, one clarinet, one oboe, one bassoon, and the brass, two French horn, two trumpet, two trombone, and one tuba. Percussion, one cymbals, one conga, one tambourine, one Chinese drum, one timpani, one wind chimes, one big drums, and one harp. And the strings, 4 the first violin, 3 the second violin, 2 viola, 2 cello, and 1 bassist. Chinese instrument, 1 xiao, 1 笛子, 1 琵琶, and 1 古筝. This is the picture of the Chinese instrument. The first one is the xiao, and the second one, 笛子, and the 琵琶, 古筝, and Chinese drums. Number 5. Structure and form. This is the compound trilogy, which consists of an introduction, section 1, section B, and a return to section A. In a cordata, introduction has 14 bars. Section A consists of Part A, Part B, Part A, total 32 bars. Section B consists of 3 parts, Part C, Part D, and Part E. Part C has 16 bars, Part D has 16 bars, and Part E has 33 bars. Finally, we return to Part A, then we enter the cordata and end the piece. Number 6. Keys tremors. There are 3 transpositions throughout the piece, beginning in the key of A natural minor, moving to D natural minor at measure 23, then to G natural minor at measure 35, and finally to D natural minor at measure 38, where it continues until the end of the piece. Number 7. Detailed discussion. The beginning of the music explains the historical background, using the sextant note by the strings as an introduction, and the tension of the chords reflect the operation and the fear of the unknown. Gradually, the strings fade out before the piano in change at measure 12. The one-night chord contains a lot of second interval, which even in long tones creates a nervousness effect about the unknown and the depressing mood. The section A is composed of 3 parts, Part A, Part B, Part A. It tells about Mulan's change of mode, which from worry firstly to determine to take a father's place in the conscription army at last. The enchantment Part 1 choose to use the Chinese musical instrument xiao, whose tone range is the middle range. As a more advanced Chinese wind instrument, its tone is dark. Here I use it to decrypt Mulan's warriors and consent after receiving the recruitment notice. I use the xiao's chill cut, air, and other playing techniques to embellish this melody, which can better reflect the flexion of Mulan's inner emotion at this moment. Let's listen the song. The shell choose. And cut. And the air. And we listen the melody played by the shell. Okay, we continue. The A, the Mi, is in A natural minor mode with the raised fourth. Its scale composition in La, Si, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, Sharp, La. In China, we use number 2 to represent notes. The special note for the mode is Fa sharp. In the harmonic progression, I utilize the 5 and the 7 dominant of the subtonic chord Re, Fa sharp, La, which set a feeling of sadness. The music progresses step by step with Mulan's changing mode. So, for the part A, I have shifted to the key of D natural minor mode. With the addition of strings, the Mi will change from shell solo to woodwind ensemble. Meanwhile, the strings advance to reflect Mulan's increasingly strong determination. Mulan seems to have realized truth, then decided to disguise herself as a man and join the army in her father's place. Here, my chord progression changed from a dark, the 1 Re, Fa, La, to a bright 6 Si, Re, flat, Fa. I use timpani rolls and cymbal rolls to prepare the part B and using strings passage in sextuplet together with the timpani. Accordingly, the tension of change corresponds to Mulan's better armor, transforming her image from a beautiful woman into a heroic warrior woman into a magnificent image of the transformation. Like other Chinese women, Mulan was also afraid for war. The pipa and guzheng were mostly played by women in ancient China. The dialogue between pipa and guzheng represents the Chinese woman. The timbre of the one is bright and the other one soft. Like Mulan seeing two versions of herself from the mirror. Measure 41 to 48 is the transition in the new tempo, which is fast. In the transition, I utilized a note on the strings combined with syncopation by the timpani to enhance the rhythmic notion and the battlefield. This section is characterized by the addition of brass and percussion instruments, which give a majestic feeling to the scenes of soldiers going to war. The disease rhythm is used to depict the intensity of the battle and the determination of the soldiers. This is section B to part C. In section B to part C, I have used three composition techniques of reflect the intensity of the battlefield. The first, the upward movement of the brass instrument reflects the determination of the soldiers to win. The second, the repeated downward scales of the flute express the hurrying wind and the smoke of the battlefield. The third, using the tambourine to simulate the sound of the warrior's armor rubbing. A short transition by the piano and violin pizzicato appear at measure 72 to 73 to prepare the new part D. At the same time, the music of the ups and downs can be more vivid expression of the battlefield of the ever-changing. In part D, the pipa plays the F phrase, while shell is used as the counter melody compared with the interest at the Mi. The pipa is used as plucked instrument, and its sweeping and finger rotting technique made the variation become a more moderate battle music, with the denser strings depicting a more chaotic sound of horses' heartbeat, and the embellishment of guzheng and the decently precocious music depict the Mulan's courageous battle against the enemy. The main theme of the part E of section B is played by the Chinese flute, which is bright and translucent, so I use the flute to depict the end of the war. Slowly the music developed to portray the joy and gratification of the soldiers who won the war. This was expressed by the Chinese drums. The return of section A, the means A and B, remind the brave soldiers who sacrificed their life of freedom and liberty. The return of section A to part A is highlighted by the addition of brass and percussion instruments, which give a majestic feeling to the scenes of soldiers who won the war. The war is over, but no matter who wins or loses, the harm it brings to people, its animals, and peace is eternal. Here I use the flute, piano, triplet as a accompaniment, wave to depict the long river of history still flowing, using horn and vary the repetition of the dummy, creating a black sense after the war. And in the end, Mulan politely refuses the entabler reward and goes to the front to kill the enemy, not for the sake of fame and riches, but for the sake for her father's safety, and even more so, for the people's safety under the sun. In the codetta, everything goes back to the original appearance of Mulan returning to her hometown. Number 7. Audiovisual works. Please listening. you for listening, and we continue. Number 8. Conclusion. After writing this piece, I learned how to better combine Chinese and Western enchantment, and I get a lot of new knowledge from it. First of all, I would like to thank my doctoral supervisor, Prof. Hermenegildo Lanela. Secondly, I would like to thank all the students who helped me. And lastly, I would like to thank the performer from the Starship Philharmonic Orchestra of Beijing and the Guangxi Provincial Symphony Orchestra. This work could not have been released without the guidance of the professor and the perfect interpretation of the musicians. Thank you. Okay, thank you for your listening.